So a few things I want to address are some things that I'm hearing about the Demon and about, the shop and whatnot. One is Bailey's will never get close to running as fast as we are because he doesn't have nitrous. Two, Bailey's doesn't know how to build a drag car to even go fast. Bailey's doesn't know how to race a car. He's got to hire somebody else. Surprise, motherfuckers, it's me. And I race the car. Secondly, that I also want to address is I've been building these things for 15 years.
It's been 84 years.
So a few things that I want to talk about on the Demon when we ran in 847 was we didn't have nitrous. There was no nitrous. Literally, I put this together with a motor with custom set of pistons and a custom set of cams that I ordered for it, okay? It's a 426, no shakes about it. And also, surprise, it's the original block that was in the Demon. It's not grenaded, we didn't rebuild it because it was blown up, nothing. We built this motor because we wanted to go fast. And the intentions of this motor were to put nitrous in it. So if you think we were fast before, with the setup that we have, you wait because now we're putting nitrous in it. And big shout out to the guys over at Nitrous Outlet for joining us for that adventure. So the piston and cam combo is definitely designed for nitrous. So hang on to your seats because we're gonna go faster and we're gonna surprise everybody once again with how fast we are going to go. Now, the engine was strictly just a 426 with a Maggie blower on it. It is the smallest of the aftermarket blowers. So you have the Whipple 2.9, you got a Whipple 4.5, you have Kenny Bell, you have all these other brands that have bigger blowers, okay, than the Magnuson. So immediately everybody thought Magnuson can't keep up. The 2650 just doesn't have it. Wrong again. If you look at the way that Magnuson flows, it actually flows just like a 3.1 or 3.0 blower. So it actually is very efficient in what it can produce as far as power. Well, the Demon was a 2.7 liter blower. Why'd you go with the 2650? Efficiency, cooling. There's lots of things that come into this play, and efficiency is one of them. So when we mated that blower to this engine combo that I built, it was specific with things in mind, okay? So when people come to me and customers want cars built, it's give me your intention and I can build this to be badass, right? So we just had a 426 motor that I built on my own here at the shop. I put it together. We have a Magnuson 2650. I mated the cam with it, I mated the block with it, and I had specific intentions. The one thing that I didn't want to know, which I kind of wanted to push, was to see how far can I take the stock transmission. And for that aspect, for tuning and everything else, we brought on the best, ZH Tunes. We wanted to be able to see how far and how well this transmission can handle the power, and let's just put it out there, can the car go into an 8-second pass? Theoretically, on paper, it should. Well, we destroyed that. So, down in Houston, 874, that's what we ran. Who would have thought that we would have shaved off so many tenths of a second just by better air quality? So what we learned a lot was on the transmission, what its capabilities were. I would guesstimate the engine is probably 1200-ish, 1300-ish power. We can't put something like that on the dyno. It blows the tires off the dyno anyways, but it's got about 1100 or so foot-pounds of torque. So that's guesstimating. So the transmission has held up well. We had our struggles with the drive shaft, so we finally got the drive shaft ironed out, and we got one that keeps up and hangs up with us. Stock rear end, literally all we did was stock rear end was on factory bushings. I broke the locker in it. I didn't crack the case. I broke the locker in the LSD part of that diff on that pass that we ran in 874. So broke the diff, replaced that. I'm on stock axles. Still don't have anything else other than the factory axles. That's not to say that those are going to break. Everything you always build, if you're going to beat the socks off of it like we are, something's going to break. It could be the engine. It could be the transmission. It could be something else. Something's going to break. If that transmission breaks, guess what? It's part of the nature of the beast. If that engine breaks, guess what? It's the nature of the beast. When we're hunting down those times, trying to set records, I may throw a 400 shot of nitrous at this thing and just say, F it, and go for the guts. I may only throw a 100 shot. I may only throw a 25 shot. Doesn't matter. Even with a 25 shot, I'm still going to be faster than you. So all of those places that are still saying that we couldn't have done what we did without nitrous, we did it. Built motor, Magnuson supercharger, no qualms, no lying. I also want to say this. Stock heads, not ported. I don't have any rocker shaft upgrades or reinforcements. Stock heads, non-ported. Stock blower, non-ported. 426 short block. Factory heads, ARPs with gaskets, Cometic gaskets. Not the O-ring gaskets, none of that other stuff. I built this before those O-ring gaskets were available. I do wish I had them on here, but when they go out, I'll replace them, okay? So this is all of the basis of the Demon. This is what we started at, 847. The fastest local Demon was an 8.8, okay? The fastest in Texas now has me beat by 1/10 of a second. Enjoy it while you can, because it's not going to be like that forever. Okay, so now let's take a look at some of the things that we're doing with the Demon. So now we've got our buddies down at Nitrous Outlet. They are giving us all the necessary tools to be able to beat this record and widen that gap to make it harder for anybody else. So that 847 we ran was complete accident. We never expected for this thing to run as fast as it did. It was purely testing a completely different range setup than what is normal, that people say is normal for these cars. So the nitrous kit that we have, dual bottle brackets with heaters in them. We also have an independent standalone fuel system that's going to be in the back, provide this with E85 on its standalone. We are running the Nitrous Outlet Pro Max, so we're going to be able to run this progressive. So we're going to start with a certain shot of nitrous and end with a certain shot of nitrous. All of our fuel lines, just to kind of complement of how we're doing it, all of our fuel lines have everything P-clamps. We're also running bulkhead connectors to run the fuel all the way up to this point and nitrous to this point and out. So all of this is going to be self-contained in here. We have a custom switch panel that we're making, and custom being it's an electronic switch panel that we're going to have that's going to turn everything on, and then the Pro Max 2 controller, or the Pro Max controller. Okay, so let's take a look at how we're doing some of the wiring in the back. Okay, so the Pro Max is going to have this fuse panel that we've got here. This is everything related to nitrous. Everything will have its own solenoid. Everything will have its own relay. Everything will have its own fuse. It's all going to be right here. So per solenoid has its own relay, its own fuse. And then all the wiring is ran through here. We have ground posts, positive posts, everything. What we do here is loom and braid all of our stuff with shrink wrap on each end, so we know what's going on. And we build all of this in-house. So here's the harness that the guys are putting together. This is going to be each solenoid that's going to come in. So if we ever have to diagnose something, figure out what's going on, anything like that, each one is on its own circuit, so we can pull it, fix it, repair it right there on the spot. This is the only ice tank that we have. Hardly use the factory chiller. We have our own ice tank and several things tied into that kind of make it real trick. But that helps keep our temperatures way down. So the next things, people that are coming on board, really excited about sponsoring the Demon. We are Texas-based. Some of them are Texas-based companies, which makes it really exciting. Nitrous Outlet is one of the big sponsors that have come on to help with the success of this car becoming the fastest Demon in the world again. We've also got Southern Hot Rod, SHR, they're in Louisiana. Those guys are freaking awesome. We're testing out a bunch of new things in the transmission that should really set us apart. Again, it's going back, talking with guys that do this, getting a good game plan so everybody knows how they can approach and how we can start reaching our goals, okay? This is how that's gonna happen. When customers and guys like me can explain their ideas and their everything else, this is what you get. We can help you there. Everybody wants to get you there. So we got Southern Hot Rod that is gonna help us address some trans shifting stuff and times and things like that, which were mechanical things that were failing, okay? So SHR sponsoring us, great transmission, and hopefully that should get us into the little bit more time that we need. Also that we have on board is Magnuson Superchargers. Obviously, we've been a true representative of Magnuson for many, many years. We are loyal to them. We're honest about why we sell their products. They are the best as far as a supercharger company in and out goes. And then Brisk spark plugs, they are the only spark plug that we offer when it comes to these cars. They are the best spark plug in the racing industry that we can have ever asked for, that for any of these Dodge platforms. So if you want the best spark plug in the market, Brisk Racing. So make sure you give those guys a follow, like them, subscribe to them, follow their Instagram, Facebook pages. If you need anything, reach out to them, reach out to us. We can help direct you in that field to get those parts that you need from them. And make sure you follow Bailey's High Performance and get with us on that next one.